Hi guys, welcome to my study compass. In this video, I'll be walking you through the past paper Math P2 Variant 1 May-June 2022. Let's get started. Write down a prime number between 30 and 40. One of the prime numbers in this range is 31. Another prime number in this range is 37. Calculate 4 raised to the power 5 minus 5 raised to the power 4. When we type this into the calculator, we get 399. Jason starts a run at 10:05 a.m. and finishes at 1:02 p.m. Work out the time Jason takes to complete the run. 10:05 a.m. is 10:05 on the 24-hour clock, and 1:02 p.m. is 13:02 on the 24-hour clock. To get the time Jason takes, we subtract 10:05 from 13:02. Under the minute column, we can't subtract 5 from 2, so we get 1 hour from the hour column, which becomes 60 minutes under the minute column. So we have 62 minutes. So 62 minus 5 is 57. Under the hour column, 12 minus 10 is 2. So the time duration is 2 hours 57 minutes. Calculate 1 minus 0.7 divided by 0.45 minus 0.38, giving your answer correct to 4 significant figures. When we type the given expression into the calculator, we get 4.286 rounded to 4 significant figures. Kirsty changes $380.8 into pounds when 1 pound equals $1.19. Calculate the amount Kirsty receives. We want to find the amount Kirsty receives when she changes $380.8 into pounds, which is what we are calling X. When we cross multiply and make X the subject, this is what we get, which is equal to 320 pounds. Write 180 as a product of its prime factors. 180 can be written as 18 times 10. 18 can be written as 2 times 9. 2 is a prime number, so we circle it. 9 can be written as 3 times 3. 3 is a prime number, so we circle both. 10 can be written as 2 times 5. 2 and 5 are prime numbers, so we circle them. So 180 equals 2 times 2 times 3 times 3 times 5. We can leave this as our final answer, or we can rewrite it as 2 squared times 3 squared times 5. Without using a calculator, work out 3 over 7 minus 2 over 21. You must show all your working and give your answer as a fraction in its simplest form. The LCM of 7 and 21 is 21. For 3 over 7, since we multiply 7 by 3 to get the LCM, we also need to multiply the numerator by 3. So 3 times 3 is 9. For 2 over 21, since we multiply 21 by 1 to get the LCM, we also need to multiply the numerator by 1. So 2 times 1 is 2. 9 minus 2 is 7. 7 goes into itself 1 time and goes into 21 3 times. So we have 1 over 3. Work out the value of S when A equals 0.9 and T equals 4. When we plug in the values of A and T into the given equation, this is what we get. When we type this into the calculator, we get 7.2. Rearrange the formula to find T in terms of S and A. When we multiply both sides by 2, we get 2s equals 80 squared. When we divide both sides by a, we get t squared equals 2s over a. And when we take square root of both sides, we have t equals plus and minus square root of 2s over a. Factorize completely. 14xy minus 7y squared. The terms have a common factor of 7y. When we factor out 7y, we are left with 2x minus y. Find the next term of the sequence. From the sequence, we see that to get the next term, we subtract 5 from the previous term. So when we subtract 5 from 2, we get negative 3. Find the nth term of the sequence. Since the terms have a constant difference between them, we can use this formula to get the nth term. A1, which is the first term, is 22. D, which is the common difference, is negative 5. When we expand the brackets, negative 5 times n is negative 5n. Negative 5 times negative 1 is 5. When we group like terms, 22 plus 5 is 27, so we have 27 minus 5n. Triangle ABC is mathematically similar to triangle PQR. Calculate QR. For similar shapes, the ratio of their corresponding sides is equal. When we make QR the subject, this is what we get, which is equal to 4.5 centimeters. The two triangles are the cross-sections of two mathematically similar prisms. The volume of the larger prism is 320 centimeters cubed. Calculate the volume of the smaller prism. For similar solids, the ratio of their volumes is equal to the cube of the ratio of their corresponding sides. When we make the volume of the smaller prism the subject, this is what we get, which is equal to 135 centimeters cubed. The interior angles of a pentagon are in the ratio 4:5:5:7:9. Find the size of the largest angle. The size of the largest angle is equal to the largest ratio share, which is 9, divided by the total ratio, which is 30, times the sum of the angles in the pentagon, which is 180 degrees times 5 minus 2. This gives us 162 degrees. Work out 2 times 10 raised to the power 100 minus 2 times 10 raised to the power 98, giving your answer in standard form. First, we can rewrite 2 times 10 raised to the power 98 to a power of 100. To do this, we multiply 10 raised to the power 98 by 10 squared, which gives us 10 raised to the power 100. Then we also divide 2 by 10 raised to the power 2 to balance the expression, which gives us 0.02. We can rewrite this as 2 minus 0.02 times 10 raised to the power 100. 2 minus 0.02 is 1.98, so we have 1.98 times 10 raised to the power 100. A train passes through a station at a speed of 108 kilometers per hour. The length of the station is 120 meters. The train takes 7 seconds to completely pass through the station. Work out the length of the train. The distance covered by the train is equal to its speed times time. To completely pass through the station, the distance covered by the train is 120 meters plus the length of the train. The speed of the train is 108 kilometers per hour. To convert 108 kilometers to meters, we multiply 108 by 1000. 1 hour is 3600 seconds. We've been given the time to be 7 seconds. This gives us 210 meters. When we subtract 120 meters from both sides, we get the length of the train to be 90 meters. Find the value of x. We can write 64 as a base of 4, which is 4 cubed. 1 over 4 cubed is 4 raised to the power negative 3. Since the bases on both sides are equal, then x equals negative 3. Describe fully the single transformation that maps triangle T onto triangle P. When we look at both triangles T and P, we can tell straight away that this is an enlargement by a scale factor of half because each of the sides of the image, which is triangle P, is half its corresponding side in triangle T. This is a negative scale factor because both triangles do not have the same orientation. Triangle P is flipped. From here, all we need to do now is to find the center of enlargement. To get this, we connect at least two corresponding points on both triangles. The intersection point of the lines is the center of enlargement, which is 4, 4. And so the full description for this transformation is enlargement by a scale factor of negative half about the center 4, 4. Find the radius of a hemisphere of volume 80 centimeters cubed. The volume of a hemisphere is half of 4 over 3 pi r cubed. Half times 4 over 3 is 2 over 3. When we make r the subject, this is what we get. We've been given the volume of the hemisphere to be 80 centimeters cubed. When we type this into the calculator, we get 3.37 centimeters rounded to 3 significant figures. A, B, C, and D are points on a circle. TU is a tangent to the circle at D. DA is parallel to CB. Find the value of x and the value of y. Based on the alternate segment theorem, these two angles are equal, so x is 38. Opposite angles in a cyclic quadrilateral add up to 180 degrees. So when we subtract 60 degrees from 180 degrees, we get angle ABC to be 120 degrees. These two are alternate angles and alternate angles are equal. So angle ACB is also 38 degrees. The sum of the angles in triangle ABC must add up to 180 degrees. So we have y plus 38 plus 120 equals 180. When we make y the subject, we get y equals 22. In the diagram, AB is parallel to PQ. AQ and PB intersect at X with AX equals XQ. Complete the following statements. In triangles ABX and QPX, AX equals XQ is given information. Angle BAX is equal to angle PQX because alternate angles are equal. Angle AXB equals angle PXQ because vertically opposite angles are equal. Triangle ABX is congruent to triangle QPX because of the congruency criterion ASA, which is angle, side, angle. PX equals BX because the triangles are congruent. The diagram shows the speed-time graph for 24 seconds of a car journey. Calculate the deceleration of the car in the final 8 seconds. The slope of a speed-time graph gives us acceleration or deceleration. So for the final 8 seconds, we have 12 minus 0 divided by 16 minus 24 meters per second squared, which is equal to negative 1.5 meters per second squared. The negative sign we have means the car is decelerating. Since we are asked for the deceleration, we ignore the negative, so we have 1.5 meters per second squared. Calculate the total distance traveled during the 24 seconds. The area under a speed time graph gives us the distance traveled. The area under the graph for the 24-second journey is in the shape of a trapezium. Here is the formula for the area of a trapezium. A plus B, which is the sum of the parallel sides of the trapezium, is 16 plus 24. H, which is the height, is 12. This gives us 240 meters. Factorize completely. 1 minus q minus a plus aq. For the first two terms, when we factor out 1, we are left with 1 minus q. For the final two terms, when we factor out minus a, we are left with 1 minus q. This can be rewritten as 1 minus q times 1 minus a. Simplify fully. 216 y raised to the power 216 all raised to the power 2 over 3. This can be rewritten as 216 raised to the power 2 over 3 times y raised to the power 216 all raised to the power 2 over 3. 216 raised to the power 2 over 3 is 36. The powers of y multiply, so 216 times 2 over 3 is 144. So we have 36y raised to the power 144. X squared plus 8x plus 10 equals x plus p squared plus q. Find the value of p and the value of q. When we expand x plus p squared, we get x squared plus 2px plus p squared. When we compare x squared plus 2px plus p squared plus q to x squared plus 8x plus 10, we see that for the coefficients of the x terms, 2p equals 8. When we divide both sides by 2, we get p equals 4. For the constant terms, we see that p squared plus q equals 10. We found p to be 4. When we subtract 4 squared from both sides, we get q equals -6. Solve x squared plus 8x plus 10 equals 30. When we move all the terms to one side of the equation and group like terms, we get x squared plus 8x minus 20 equals 0. We can solve for x using the factorization method. We can rewrite 8x as -2x plus 10x. For the first two terms, when we factor out x, we are left with x minus 2. And for the final two terms, when we factor out 10, we are left with x minus 2. This can be rewritten as x minus 2 times x plus 10. When we equate x minus 2 to 0, we get x equals 2. And when we equate x plus 10 to 0, we get x equals -10. A cuboid measures 24 centimeters by 12 centimeters by 8 centimeters. Calculate the length of a diagonal of the cuboid. In the illustration, we've labeled the diagonal of the cuboid as y. To get y, we apply the Pythagoras theorem. This gives us y squared equals x squared plus 8 squared. When we make y the subject, this is what we get. We need to find the value of x. To get x, we apply the Pythagoras theorem. This gives us x squared equals 24 squared plus 12 squared. When we make x the subject, this is what we get, which is equal to 12 root 5. Now that we have the value of x, y equals square root of 12 root 5 squared plus 8 squared, which is equal to 28. W is proportional to the square root of y. Y is inversely proportional to x. When x is 4, y is 16 and w is 8. Find w in terms of x. In mathematical terms, we write W is directly proportional to the square root of y. This can be rewritten as W is equal to a constant which we are going to call k times square root of y. We get the value of k by plugging in the values of W and y given in the question. This gives us 8 equals k times square root of 16. Square root of 16 is 4. When we divide both sides by 4, we get k equals 2. So we have W equals 2 times square root of y. We are also told y is inversely proportional to x. This can be rewritten as y is equal to a constant which we are going to call k times 1 over x, which is k over x. We get the value of k by plugging in the values of x and y given in the question. This gives us 16 equals k over 4. When we multiply both sides by 4, we get k equals 64. So we have y equals 64 over x. We need to write w in terms of x. So we substitute y in w equals 2 times square root of y with 64 over x. Square root of 64 over x can be written as square root of 64 over square root of x. 2 times square root of 64 is 16. So we have w equals 16 over square root of x. The diagram shows a triangle OAB and a parallelogram OALK. The position vector of A is A and the position vector of B is B. K is a point on AB so that AK is to KB equals 1 is to 2. Find the position vector of L in terms of A and B. Give your answer in its simplest form. The position vector of L is the same as vector OL. OL can be expressed as OB plus BK plus KL. From the given ratio, BK is 2/3 of BA. BA is BO plus OA. OB is B. BO is negative B. OA is A and KL is A. When we expand the brackets, 2 over 3 times negative B is negative 2 over 3b. 2 over 3 times a is 2 over 3a. When we group like terms, 2 over 3a plus a is 5 over 3a. b minus 2 over 3b is 1 over 3b. So we have 5 over 3a plus 1 over 3b. The line y equals x plus 1 intersects the graph of y equals x squared minus 3x minus 11 at the points A and B. Find the coordinates of A and the coordinates of B. You must show all your working. To get the coordinates of A and B, we need to solve the two equations simultaneously. Let's use the substitution method. If we put equation 1 into equation 2, this is what we have. When we move all the terms to one side of the equation and group like terms, this is what we get. We can solve for x using the factorization method. We can rewrite minus 4x as 2x minus 6x. For the first two terms, when we factor out x, we are left with x plus 2. And for the final two terms, when we factor out minus 6, we are left with x plus 2. We can rewrite this as x plus 2 times x minus 6. When we equate x plus 2 to 0, we get x equals negative 2. And when we equate x minus 6 to 0, we get x equals 6. So now we can plug in the x values into any of the equations to get the y values. Let's pick equation 2. When x equals negative 2, y equals negative 2 plus 1, which is equal to negative 1. When x equals 6, y equals 6 plus 1, which is equal to 7. Thank you for watching. I hope you found this video useful. See you in the next video. Bye guys.